Greetings and welcome to a quick lesson on network types. So the first thing we'll go over is connection types, and this is really how you connect to the internet. Some of these are fairly old, but you have your DSL. Normally that's your broadband, but it uses the existing phone lines without interrupting the service, right? So DSL is digital subscriber line. Dial-up, most of you probably have barely heard of this, but this did actually use your phone line, so you could not use this at the same time as your phone. It would send it across that. Some of these are self-explanatory. Satellite connects directly to satellite with a dish. They're coming up with some pretty neat stuff, Elon Musk, to get that working around for everyone. Then there's the ISDN, which does telephone and data over the same line. Cellular, that's how your cell phone connects, but also there's other devices that can connect to the cell towers as well that don't necessarily do cell phone calls. Line of sight just means that you need to actually see the tower. So an example of this, you have a dish on your house, the dish points straight at a tower, so it's a wireless connection to some sort of other antenna or tower with an antenna. And then the mobile hotspot is you just sharing your cellular data. And again, that could be from a device that connects directly to the cellular tower, not actually your cell phone, or from your cell phone, right? So these are different ways. And then, the ISP is normally internet service provider, are the ones that give this. The Comcast, Verizon, CenturyLink, stuff like that are normally the ones you can do this. But there's many different more ways for that. These are the major ones. Alright, so now what happens when you do have the internet, right? Now most businesses, schools, houses, right, they have what's called a local area network, right? And there's no internet needed, right? You don't need an internet connection to actually have a local area network. This allows for a lot of things, right? This allows for security. For example, a school like us, all the computers inside the school can talk to each other without having to worry about other devices outside of the network trying to connect to them, infiltrate them, whatever. And then as we're going through, we talked about firewalls already, right? You can have a firewall between you and the actual internet to give you that protection, and then anything has to be on your network if it wants to connect directly to you without having to go through the firewall. So even your house, right? So when you have your phone connected to your TV and you're streaming from your phone to your TV, some of you might have done that before, or your phone connects to your computer. A lot of the times, again, that needs a local network, right? They are able to find each other on the local network. One nice thing about the local network is you don't need a special program for it often, because they're able to just directly find that device, right? If you have some kind of smart device hooked up to your TV and your phone is on the same network to it, you can do it. And if you've ever seen where you've turned off your Wi-Fi on your phone and you can't connect to devices in your house, again, it's because your phone is no longer on that local area network. So that's a local area network, as you can see, right? This business, all these computers inside of here, they're all connected together, and they could be wireless or wired, but they're all connected together, servers, computers, printers, and this is normally, and IT can obviously change things, what you can see and whatnot, but this is why computers can only find the printer, because they're all connected together in that local network. Now, that leads to the wide area network, and really simply, that's just connecting, right? And a lot of the times it's through the internet, right? So you have your school, and it goes out to the internet, and it's got a protected connection, and then it goes off to another building. So a good example would be like, any school, right? This is one building, but it's not necessarily directly connected to another one, right? It can go out to the internet, go across, right? So, but again, this has this local area network. It goes through the internet and passes to another one. So that would be an example. And it might be buildings on the campus, or you have multiple campuses. And then, of course, with businesses, multiple locations, right? Each has their internal, and then they can pass over to the other sides and see the different pieces, right? So, and they just have this router that, does connections, and it goes like, hey, I want to talk to another computer over there. I can send it, come over here. It recognizes that you're all part of the WAN, right? You're all connected, right? I've seen it, so this building can print to the building over here if it's all connected correctly. But it's not like it's on the same network. They're on different networks. But they're still on the same wild area network. All right, and then finally, we'll go over this real quick. Another thing you might see, and this is just a different way to connect, not necessarily a new thing. It still can be a WAN or a LAN or whatever. But basically, this is just using radio nodes to connect, right? You're able to connect. And I've seen this with some businesses where they have, like, on one building they'll have antenna, and then they have a building across the town, and they just directly shoot radio waves across to each other to stay connected. Again, that could be their WAN, connecting to LANs. It is just, key to this is it's wirelessly connected. And then at the end line, at the end of it, there's still wires, right? Wires, there's still wires here, but you're able to bounce around and then get to some things that are wired, right? It's just, most of the stuff is done by wireless, kind of forms a mesh network for that. But that's it, right? We went over the wild network, the LAN, different ways you can actually get the internet as well. This would be this piece right here for connections. Are you connecting to each other from all of these different pieces? But that's the gist of different network types that you can look at, the connections, the layouts that you might see across businesses. So with that, that's the end of our lesson. We'll see you next lesson.